Welcome back, treasure hunters, coin lovers, and numismatic explorers. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising stories in the world of coins, a tiny copper-colored coin that almost everyone in America has handled, but very few realize could be hiding a small fortune. That's right, we're talking about the 2003 United States 1-cent coin. This might sound like just another penny to most people, a coin that you'd toss into a tip jar or forget in your car's cup holder. But what if I told you that one of these humble little coins could be worth more than a brand new luxury car? That behind its everyday appearance lies a mystery, a history, and a hidden value that only the sharpest collectors know about. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll find out just how much this common coin could be worth, and why you should be checking every single penny that passes through your hands. Let's rewind the clock and set the stage. The year is 2003. The internet is growing. The first iPhones are still a few years away, and people are going about their business, spending pennies without a second thought. But during that year, the US Mint continued its tradition of producing the beloved Lincoln cent, a coin that has been in circulation since 1909. On the front, or obverse, of the coin is the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His stern, thoughtful face has become one of the most recognized images in American coinage. Look closer and you'll see the words, "In God We Trust," arched above him, "Liberty," to his left, and the date 2003 just to the right. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., centered between the words, "United States of America," and 1 cent. If you look closely enough, you'll even see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a detail so fine, it's often missed unless under magnification. The reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo and had been used since 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. Most 2003 1-cent coins are made of copper-plated zinc. They were mass-produced in the billions, yes, billions with a B, across the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That means they're everywhere, right? So how could something so common be valuable? Here's the catch. Not all pennies are created equal. In the massive sea of coins struck each year, a few rare specimens slip through with special traits, errors, unusual features, or ultra-rare minting conditions. And when it comes to the 2003 penny, there are a few fascinating reasons why collectors are scrambling to get their hands on certain pieces. One of the key reasons lies in what's called a mint error. These errors can range from subtle misalignments to dramatic double strikes, off-center strikes, or even coins that are struck on the wrong type of planchet. In rare cases, a coin meant to be a penny ends up being struck on a dime blank or a foreign coin blank, accidents that result in coins unlike any others in circulation. Collectors love these anomalies because they are one of a kind. A flawless 2003 penny might be worth a few cents over face value to the right collector, but a 2003 penny with a dramatic error, in excellent condition, becomes a rare treasure. And that's where the real money comes in. Condition, or grade, also plays a huge role in a coin's value. A 2003 penny pulled straight from circulation will usually show signs of wear, scratches, dull color, maybe even dirt from years of use. But a penny that was never used, never touched, and preserved in what's called mint state can be incredibly desirable. These coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin, flawless under a microscope. Very few coins reach this level, and when they do, collectors pay big to own one. Imagine having a coin in perfect condition from a year when billions were made, but only a few survived untouched. That's what makes the search so thrilling, and that's not all. Some 2003 1-cent coins have known die errors, such as doubling in the words, "Liberty," or, "In God We Trust," or on the numbers in the date. These are known as double die coins, and collectors absolutely love them. When paired with a high grade and beautiful eye appeal, clean surface, shiny luster, no spots, these coins become hot commodities at auctions. Now, let's talk about where the true excitement begins. In the world of numismatics, every so often, a specific coin becomes the centerpiece of attention because of its story, its rarity, or a stunning auction result. That's exactly what happened with a very special 2003 Lincoln cent. This wasn't just any coin. It was flawless. It had an incredibly rare mint error, was perfectly preserved, and had a fascinating history of discovery. After intense bidding from top collectors and dealers, it sold for an amount that no one expected, a figure that shocked the coin community and got even non-collectors talking. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, that humble 1-cent coin from 2003, when preserved in perfect condition and paired with a rare mint error, was sold for a jaw-dropping $85,000. That's right. One small coin, less than an inch wide, worth just a single cent in the eyes of most, ended up being worth the same as a luxury car, a college education, or even a down payment on a house. So, what's the lesson here? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story includes hidden value that can change your life. If you've got a coin collection, or even a dusty jar of change, start looking closely. You never know what hidden treasure might be sitting right under your nose. Today, we're talking about a coin you've probably handled 100 times without even thinking about it. A coin so ordinary, most people wouldn't give it a second glance. But in the right condition, under the right circumstances, that same coin could be worth more than most people make in a year. Yes, we're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from the year 2001. Sounds like just another penny, right? One you might find under your car seat or at the bottom of your pocket. But what if I told you that one of these coins could be worth more than some homes? That something so small, so overlooked, might actually be one of the most valuable things hiding in plain sight. Let's dig into the story of this tiny piece of copper and zinc, because this isn't just a coin. It's a hidden gem in the world of American numismatics. First, a little background. The United States Mint has been producing the Lincoln cent since 1909. It's one of the longest-running coin designs in the history of the world. And since 1959, the reverse side of the coin has featured the Lincoln Memorial, while the front side carries the timeless profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The 2001 version of this coin kept that design, and it was minted in the billions. That's right, billions with a B. You might think, with numbers like that, it couldn't possibly be rare or valuable, but let me stop you right there, because not all pennies are created equal. While most of the 2001 1-cent coins were made for everyday circulation, a few special coins were struck under unique circumstances. And these needle-in-a-haystack coins, have become the stuff of legend among coin collectors. Here's where things get really fascinating. When the US Mint produces coins, it uses enormous presses and precision-crafted dies. But even with all that technology, mistakes can happen. And when they do, those errors sometimes lead to coins that become incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. With the 2001 Lincoln cent, there are several types of known errors that have caused jaws to drop in the numismatic community. Some of these include off-center strikes, where the design is pushed to one side of the coin, creating a crescent of blank space. Others include die cracks, broad strikes, double dies, and even wrong planchet errors, where a penny design gets struck on the wrong kind of metal disc entirely. These aren't just manufacturing mistakes. To collectors, they're opportunities. They're unique. They're unrepeatable. And when one is found in perfect or near-perfect condition, that's when the price tags start climbing. Another key element that determines a coin's value is its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being absolute perfection, no scratches, no blemishes, full luster. A coin that has never been touched, that came straight from the mint into a protective case, can sometimes score in the high 60s or even hit that perfect 70. That's extremely rare for pennies, especially from high mintage years like 2001. Most coins from that year have been passed from hand to hand, jingled in pockets, scraped in vending machines, and tossed into jars. They've lived a life, and it shows. But imagine finding a 2001 Lincoln cent that escaped all of that. A coin that was never circulated, never handled, never scratched. A coin that has a noticeable mint error, combined with a pristine, brilliant finish. Now we're talking about a coin that serious collectors will fight over. We're talking about something that turns heads at auctions and raises eyebrows in collector forums. And here's something you probably didn't know. There are very few known examples of the 2001 Lincoln cent that check all the boxes: rare mint error, stunning grade, and exceptional eye appeal. These are coins that weren't just found, they were discovered. Pulled from old bank rolls, inherited collections, or even pocket change that had been sitting untouched for years, every time one shows up in the market, it causes a ripple. Collectors race to have it authenticated, graded, and appraised. And when the stars align, and all the right conditions come together in one coin, the value can skyrocket. Let's take a moment to appreciate that. A coin worth 1 cent by face value. A coin so common in appearance, so humble in reputation, that most people wouldn't even pick it up off the street, but in the hands of the right person, examined under the right lens, and in the right condition, this same coin becomes a treasure. And now, drumroll please, the moment you've been waiting for, because in one extraordinary case, a 2001 Lincoln 1-cent coin, featuring a spectacular and rare mint error, preserved in mint state, with a nearly perfect grade and flawless presentation, sold for an unbelievable $75,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent worth $75,000. That's a life-changing amount of money. That's the power of coin collecting. That's the magic of knowing what to look for, and keeping your eyes open for hidden treasure in the most unexpected places. So the next time you're handed change at the grocery store, or you're sorting through an old coin jar, don't rush. Look closely. Pay attention to the date, the condition, the tiny details. You never know when you might stumble across something incredible. Now, at first glance, this coin might look like every other penny you've seen in your life. Copper-colored, Lincoln's familiar profile, the date stamped cleanly to the right of his face. It's been in your change. It's rolled across your desk. Maybe it's hiding in an old drawer in your kitchen right now, but here's the twist. The 1982 penny isn't just another 1-cent coin. It's a numismatic puzzle, a transition year that caused massive changes in how the penny was made, and a year that gave birth to one of the rarest and most fascinating modern U.S. coins ever struck. Let's roll back the clock for a moment. Before 1982, U.S. 1-cent coins were made almost entirely of copper, 95% copper, to be exact. That was a tradition going all the way back to 1909 when the Lincoln cent was first introduced. But by the early 1980s, the cost of copper had skyrocketed. It was becoming more expensive for the government to mint a penny than the coin was actually worth. That's right, the metal inside the penny was literally worth more than 1 cent. So in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change. That year, they transitioned the penny from mostly copper to a new composition, 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of copper plating. The new pennies looked pretty much the same, but inside, they were completely different. And because the transition happened during the middle of the year, both copper and zinc pennies were minted in 1982. This means that 1982 is one of the only years in American coinage where two major compositions of the same coin were produced at the same time, but it gets even better. Because the U.S. Mint also used two different sizes of the date font during this same year, what collectors now call large date and small date varieties. So let's do the math. In 1982, there were two different metal compositions, copper and zinc. Two different date sizes, large date and small date. Two different mint marks, Philadelphia and Denver. That gives us 8 different known types of 1982 pennies. And yes, collectors chase after all of them, but among these, one is the stuff of legends. One variety was unknown for decades. It wasn't listed in books, it wasn't on any official U.S. Mint documents, it just slipped through the cracks, waiting patiently to be discovered, and then, it was in 2016, a collector stumbled upon a coin that shouldn't have existed. A 1982 penny struck with the small date design, minted in Philadelphia, but made of copper, not zinc. This was big news. Until then, it was believed that all small date 1982 pennies from Philadelphia were made from zinc. But this one, this mysterious, beautiful, gleaming coin, was different. It had been made from the old copper composition. It defied all expectations. That single discovery set off a storm of excitement. Collectors everywhere rushed to test their 1982 pennies. You see, the difference between zinc and copper isn't visible to the naked eye, but the weight gives it away. A zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while a copper penny weighs about 3.1 grams. That's a small difference, but with a digital scale, you can spot it instantly. and so, the hunt began. People across the country began weighing their 1982 pennies, searching for that rare combination, a small date, Philadelphia mint, copper composition. The thrill of finding one is like striking gold. Not just because of its rarity, but because this was a coin that no one expected to exist. It had slipped through the mint's quality control. It had lived among the billions of other pennies, quietly waiting to be found. So here's where things get really exciting, because as of now, fewer than 24 of these rare 1982 small date copper pennies from Philadelphia have been confirmed. And some of them have gone on to sell for incredible amounts of money at auction, but that's not the only reason the 1982 penny is so exciting. Even the more common varieties are sought after by collectors in perfect condition. If you happen to have a high-grade, uncirculated 1982 penny with a mint error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or die clash, the value can go up dramatically. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have graded thousands of 1982 cents. But the number of coins that have achieved high mint state grades, especially with rare errors, is still extremely small. These top-tier coins are collector gold. Now, think about this for a second. You could walk past a penny on the street and never know that it's not just a penny. It might be a rare variety, one that's been hiding in plain sight for 40 years. And all you need to identify it is a magnifying glass, a digital scale, and a little bit of knowledge. And now, the moment you've waited for. Among these fascinating 1982 varieties, there was one single coin, one glorious, perfectly preserved, extremely rare small date copper sent from the Philadelphia Mint, that broke all expectations. With the right combination of rarity, composition, condition, and a perfect storm of collector demand, this unassuming 1-cent coin went to auction and sold for a breathtaking, jaw-dropping $62,000. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. A coin worth 1 cent sold for $62,000, and that's the magic of coin collecting. That's the reason people all over the world are digging through old jars, flipping through change, and hunting through rolls of pennies. Because behind that coppery glow might be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure just waiting to be found. If you loved this story and want more deep dives into the most surprising, valuable, and mysterious coins in circulation, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. The next big discovery could be in your own pocket change. Keep your eyes sharp, your scales ready, and as always, happy hunting.